Hello, good evening. This is of the 2024 budget presentation to members of the State House of Assembly by His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Adamawa State, Right Honorable Governor Fintiri. Distinguished ladies, we have a proceeding in the House of Assembly, so all the proceeding must begin before His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Adamawa State, is ushered into the State House of Assembly.
Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, good morning. The second item on the order paper 110 is adoption of the course and proceedings of Wednesday, the 6th day of December 2023.
Honorable colleagues, I have gone to serve, subject to amendment or observation, please. Yes, honorable member representing.
Pass 1, 2. The word rule be replaced with the word order. The word rule in that sentence be replaced with the word order. Pass 1, 2, order 25. All right. Yeah. 1. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, honorable member representing some.
I do now Cited on the other paper is Governor Fintiri, the executive governor of Adamawa State, under the sponsorship of the majority leader, Honorable.
And also the majority leader of the House.
Right, Honorable Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I move that this House.
Presentation first.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues,
Yes.
I move that this honorable House do now usher into the House Chamber to present the 2024 proposed budget estimate.
Yes. Yes, once you have the floor, also the minority leader.
Honorable House will now usher in the executive governor of Adamawa State, His Excellency, Right Honorable Governor Fintiri, into the House Chamber to present
And second, for the executive governor of Adamawa State, His Excellency, Right Honorable Fintiri, to be ushered into the chamber. Those against saying the ayes have it. Majority leader and minority leader.
The moment of 4 is here. The executive governor of Adamawa State the majority leader, Honorable Kate Mamuno, and the minority leader, Suleiman Al-Kali, have gone out to the chamber for the governor to make the long-awaited 2024 budget presentation to members of the State House of Assembly. This is the executive governor in of His Excellency, Right Honorable Ahmadu Fintiri, into the hallowed chamber of the State House of Assembly to that is the executive governor there, the project master, the fresh air governor, Governor Meyi, according to Hausa people, the bulldozer, name it.
Our mix today is the executive governor, Right Honorable Governor Fintiri, is now in the House Chamber to present on behalf of myself and the entire honorable members. I humbly welcome you to Honorable House. Your Excellency, you may wish.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. The Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the SSG, the Chief of Staff, members of the State Executive Council, advisors, staff of the Assembly, gentlemen of the press, good morning. Gratitude to Almighty God that I stand before you, this Honorable House today, to present the 2024 appropriation bill. 1 and 2 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. This moment is especially significant to me because it is the first time in our dear state as we set the agenda for a post-consolidation re-engineering of our development. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I want to begin by and fiscal strategy paper earlier brought before this House. The speed with which framework reaffirmed the commitment and devotion of this House to the economic development and the greater good of our people. It is also reinforces the cordial relationship together to improve the lot of our people and place Adamawa State on an inviolable map among the most advanced subnational entities in the field with our 11-point agenda. It is my fervent belief that this House will accord us even greater cooperation to achieve more success with the recalibration. I've always maintained that our first time was dedicated to laying an enduring foundation for the social like laborers on site, to bring all the pieces together for a solid foundation. Today, it is safe to say it has a solid foundation upon which all social and economic engineering can safely be placed. We have built the right trust, which has all is at crossroads. This challenge is not only peculiar to Adamawa State or Nigeria. It is definitely a challenging condition. From the lingering post-COVID supply and production bottlenecks, armed conflict in various parts of the world, so expect global growth to hover around 3.0% in 2024. For Nigeria, this relative low rate has significant implications for the national economy due to our current reliance on importation. The situation is even worse. Crude oil. Inflation has trended upward due to weak global conditions. For the first time in a decade, we face a combination of high normalized. Commodity price fell and central banks embarked on the strongest and most synchronized monetary policy to its previous level after surge, even during episodes less acute than the one we are confronted with. To contain the rising domestic national government to collaborate with subnational government to address structural factors driving inflation, while acknowledging the bleak economic so as to place our priorities right and our expenditure proportionate to what is economically realistic. Is crafted to complete critical infrastructure projects which were earlier awarded, build new ones, invest hugely in our education sector, inject no doubt address structural and social problems in the economy, and attract the necessary enablers for progress, peace, and investment. Review of the 2023 budget. It is customary that the review of the performance of the current approved budget in terms of the actual revenue and the accrue to the state and what they were expended on within the last 3 quarters of the financial year to be made known to you, and indeed the entire. As a matter of tradition, is also meant to reflect and evaluate past performance, cover the shortfall and consolidate success in order to move the state forward. On this note, I want to refresh your memory on the fact that this Honorable House late last year approved the total sum of 175,019,054,060 naira for the 2023 fiscal year to finance both the recurrent and capital expenditure of the state. However, during the 2023 fiscal year, the state has received and recorded an additional inflow of revenue to the tune of 39,261,707,063 naira as statutory allocations, which were approved by this Honorable House. This has led to the increase in the 2023 approved budget side from the initial 175,019,054,060 naira to 214,280,968,767 naira 63 kobo. Out of these, the sum of 105 billion 11,432,437 naira, which represents 49% of the total approved annual budget estimate, was earmarked for recurrent services, and the balance of 109 billion 206,536,330 naira 6 kobo, which represents 51% of the total approved annual budget, was earmarked to service capital development program and services in the state. Out of the aforementioned total approved budget for the 2023 financial year, the state government was able to arrive at a total sum of 85,504,533,406 naira from all her revenue sources as at 30th September 2023. The breakdown of the total revenue shows that 25,050,852,749 naira was realized from statutory allocations. 24,648,664,854 naira from value-added tax. 847,672,845 naira from ecological fund. 6,222,974,209 from exchange rate difference. 3,278,452,883 naira from non-oil revenue. 1,494,458,705 naira from other fact transfers. 9,962,266,712 naira collected from internally generated revenue of the state, and the balance of 13,695,190,539 naira was realized from capital receipts. In the same vein, the total sum of 73,557,885,583 naira was expended on the various recurrent and capital development expenditure profiles sources as at 30th September 2023. The breakdown of these expenditures is made up of 28 billion 44,776,356 naira 72 kobo expended on personal emoluments. 26 billion 278,286,219 naira 32 kobo on overhead costs, and the balance of 19 billion 223,281 naira 8,000 was expended on capital development projects and programs in the state in the fiscal year 2024 proposed budget estimate. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this is the first budget appropriation of the second time, and the main focus is to foster economic growth of the state on projects and programs. This has become necessary so that the positive economic impacts that will change the standard of living of our people will become a reality. It is in line with this policy objective and mission towards the transformation of the state that the 2024 proposed annual budget has been carefully articulated to allow faster economic development of the state. Having acquainted you with the general performance of the 2023 approved budget, may I now present to you and this Honorable Assembly the 2024 proposed appropriation bill as duly bestowed on me by the Constitution for the financing of all government programs and services in the state in the incoming financial year. Having considered all factors, this administration is presenting the sum of 225,893,690,626 naira as the 2024 proposed annual budget towards the financing of both the recurrent and capital development programs within the 2024 fiscal year. The budget is articulated on the current economic indicators of oil production benchmark of 1.78 million barrels per day, oil price benchmark of $77.96 per barrel, exchange rate of 750,000 naira per dollar, national real GDP growth rate at 3.75%, national inflation rate of 21.5%. The proposed budget is in line with the 2024-2026 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper. Out of the total proposed budget estimate, the sum of 111,379,586,126 naira, which represents 49.5% of the total proposed annual budget estimate, is being earmarked for recurrent services of the state. The balance of 114,514,104,500 naira, which also represent 51.7% of the total proposed budget, is being earmarked for capital development program and services in the state. The additional breakdown of the 2024 proposed annual budget in terms of revenue and expenditure is as follows. Statutory allocation, 68,447,186,396 naira, which represent 30.1%. Share of VAT, 47,731,651,558,000, which represent 21.1%. Ecological fund, 1 billion, which represent 0.4%. Exchange rate difference, 16 billion, which represents 7.1%. Non-oil revenue, 6,623,744,122 naira, which represent 2.9%. Other fact transfers, 2,214,500,000, which represent 1%. Internally generated revenue, 22,240,608,550 naira, which represent 9.9%. Aids and grants, 4,900,000,000 naira, which represent 2.2%. Capital receipt, 57,136,000,000 naira, which represent 25.3%. Total, 225,893,690,626 naira, which represent 100% of the total 2023-24 estimated annual budget. Expenditure. Personnel cost, 42,978,572,756 naira, which takes 19%. Overhead cost, 68,401,013,370 naira, which represent 30.3%. Capital expenditure, 114,514,104,500 naira, which represent 50.7%. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the breakdown of the budget and economic planning will come up. The Honorable Commissioner of Budget and Economic Planning will come up with a total detailed breakdown of the 2024 budget in a press briefing after this presentation. For now, permit me to say that in the 2024 fiscal year, government intends to spend the following amounts in some of the respective MDAs. 1. Ministry of Works and Energy Development, 25,535,000,000 naira, which represents the total budget of 22.25%. Ministry of Education and Human Capital Development, 15,603,100,000 naira, which represents 13.60%. Ministry of Health and Human Services, 6,388,000,000, which takes 5.57%. Ministry of Finance, 6,066,300,000, which takes 5.29%. Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, 4,494,732,600, which takes 4.35%. And Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, 6,604,291,400, which takes 4.01%. Major policy objectives of the 2024 budget estimate. In line with the federal government directive, the state will continue with the International Public Sector Accounting Standard, IPSAS, program which is in full implementation in the state. In continuation of the budget discipline, all MDAs are directed to cut the classification code and the balance of votes in charge of the classification code and the balance of votes of charge on their memos when requesting for release of funds to enable our financial experts to properly classify and track releases as appropriate. As usual, government will continue to train and equip civil servants with skills that will enhance their tax functions towards better service delivery in the state. Government, among other measures, will continue to ensure that some of the state's untapped sources of internally generated revenue are harnessed and properly tapped in towards the improvement of revenue generation in the state within the fiscal year. In line with the Vision 2020-2030 National Perspective Plan, as well as the Sustainable Development Goals, we will continue to pursue the anticipated economic growth of our dear state, while carrying out our duties in generally all social and economic spheres with the required diligence. We shall focus on key priority areas to change the fortunes of the state. Recurrent expenditure. Government will continue to look into measures and modalities of how to offset the backlog of gratuity and pensions of our retired civil servants within the next fiscal year and to ensure prompt payment of salaries and overhead costs. Capital expenditure. In 2023, government budgeted a sum of 109,269,536,330.6 naira for capital expenditure. However, only 19,234,821,008 was expended as of 30th September 2023 on priority projects and programs including infrastructure, education, health, agriculture, general administration, and so on. Due to low revenue inflow, all these projects have had direct bearing on the lives of our people. Government has proposed to spend a sum of 114,514,000,000 for 104,500 naira on capital expenditure in 2024 fiscal year. General receipts. These are made up of grants, aids, loan, and so on. Government is, however, optimistic that substantial funds will be received in the next guarantee year through the World Bank and other funding agencies. The government also intends to use internal loans to finance some of the priority projects that have high revenue yielding potentials. Internal security. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, there is no doubt that Adamawa State is one of the most peaceful states in the country. With joy in my heart, I call on this honorable House and indeed the people of Adamawa State to continue to thank God for the relative peace we enjoy in the state. We shall continue to work with relevant stakeholders in the security architecture of the state to deploy our energy and resources towards maintaining the much desired peace and security. Education. Government will continue to solidify what was already established in the first time by ensuring that there is much improvement in the education sector in the state. Government will continue to improve on the feeding program in our schools by ensuring that feeding is timely and balanced. Government will continue to pay fees for national examinations such as WAEC, NECO, NAPTEP, NBs, and Basic Education Certificate for students who have qualified to write the examinations. How much impact this policy has made can be seen in the sharp increase in the number of students that have passed this examination as contained in the most recent results released by both WAEC and NECO. Government will also continue to pay scholarship allowances promptly to students in tertiary institutions, both within and outside the country. We shall not only continue to build additional classrooms and renovate existing ones in our school, but also provide the necessary furniture that can make our learning environment conducive. We are committed to building at least one standard mega school, boarding school, in each senatorial district to admit best of our students in the next fiscal year. Mr. Speaker, my dear honorable members, you will bear me witness from the last time that the standard of our hospitals and health centers, both within and outside the state capital, have been greatly improved, and access to medical services have been made available in all our rural areas. Our policy on health insurance is going on well, and we hope to expand the insurance coverage in 2024. Our doctors and other medical workers are at par, or even better than their colleagues in other service demanding entities like the federal government, as their remunerations and other welfare packages have been optimally enhanced. We hope to sustain this lofty status in 2024. Critical infrastructure. Our infrastructure rating has definitely surged since the last time. We have improved our roads network in the urban centers and rural areas to facilitate easy movement of both people and farm produce. The construction of the Mubi flyover will ease a lot of traffic congestion on the road when completed, and in addition, benefit the state capital. The government has started the construction of superhighway with drains, which will start from FGGC Yola through Malkwai up to AA Lawal Junction, which will equally pass through the State Assembly complex. This will also decongest our roads, thereby reducing the rate of accident to its barest minimum. We are committed to finishing this project and awarding new ones in the year. To ease transportation hardship, especially due to removal of fuel subsidy, we have procured 10 luxurious buses early in the year. These buses have been put to use, and our people are happy with the situation. We hope to maintain the smiles on the faces of the commuters by procuring more buses for our students and public schools. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, agriculture plays vital and diverse roles in the production of not only employment and economic development, but also in developing and improving a larger part of our society. Investing in food security encompasses human capital development and improved livelihood. The agricultural policy of Adamawa State is aligned with the main goals of the national policy on agriculture and is principally aimed at increasing the productivity of crop and livestock subsector to raise the standard of living of the farming communities and attain food security. Government has applied significant subsidies to a wide range of farm inputs, including fertilizer, improved planting materials, agrochemicals, and agricultural equipment. In the medium time, more specific areas such as the promotion of organic fertilizer, water resources management at the macro level, and manufacturing of small farm equipment implement will be pursued. In the long term, the focus will be on issues including soil surveys, the establishment of agro-industrial parks, and the manufacturing of farm machinery and implements. My dear Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members, government in the year 2024 is going to encourage cluster irrigation farming by providing agricultural inputs, enabling the environment through social insurance or social assistance measures to boost food sufficiency. Since the launch of the Adamawa State Agro-Business Support Program, ADAS, in the last administration, we have been preoccupied with crafting an exit route out of the era of overdependence on oil money from FAC to run the government. We are committed to having an Adamawa State that is financially self-sufficient, where cost of governance, both recurrent and capital, can conveniently be defrayed from the streams of revenues invented within. As we march into 2024, we solicit for more support from all measures that will be deployed by others to lead us through this bumpy road. The civil service, as the engine for implementing our laudable policies and programs, will continue to receive government priority in the coming year. In the first time, we made prompt payment of salaries of our workers a non-issue. We shall continue on this tradition as we put more measures in providing the necessary environment for the promotion of their welfare, capacity building, security, and productivity of our civil servants. We will recruit more workers and sustain our tradition of appointments of permanent secretaries being based on performance at examination. The industrial harmony enjoyed in the state for a long time has been made possible due to our response to the needs and demands of our workers. We have been transparent in our dealings with the unions. This transparency has earned us the trust and understanding of the Nigerian Labour Congress. We hope to sustain this harmony in 2024. In conclusion, I wish to express my sincere appreciation and profound gratitude to you all for the cordial relationship that continues to subsist between the two arms of government and also between us and the judiciary. We have collectively demonstrated a proper grasp of the organic operation of the doctrine of separation of power in an ideal democracy. I want to also particularly thank our security agents in the state for the maintenance of peace. We place on record the efforts of traditional and religious leaders who are in the forefront of preaching peaceful coexistence and tolerance in the entire state. May this peaceful and harmonious relationship continue to work stronger to the glory of God. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, it is now my privilege and singular honor to present to you and the state the 2024 appropriation bill, Christian budget of re-engineering. I wish you Merry Christmas and a happy, prosperous New Year in advance. Thank you all, and God bless you.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Hello? That was the presentation of the 2024 budget proposal to the Speaker at the State Assembly by His Excellency the Executive Governor of Adamawa State. And any moment from now, the Speaker will make his response.
Professor Awadiamoni, Professor Porauta, my respected honorable colleagues, our party chairman, the PDP, Barrister Eti Shehu, the SSG, the Chief of Staff, the Head of Service, members of the Executive Council, Chairman, House of Assembly Service Commission and his members, the advisors here present, our senior colleagues, that's the former members of the Adamawa State House of Assembly here present, Mr. Clark, the staff of the Assembly, high-profile personality, I can cite Dr. Stephen Madua and the rest, members of the press, our gallant security men, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is with great joy I welcome you all to Adamawa State House of Assembly for yet another milestone presentation of the budget and the first in the second tenure of the Fresh Air Administration. Budget presentation, as you all know, is a ritual where plans are put together on the expenditure and income of government for the incoming year. I want to commend the ATM Governor, the Fresh Air Governor, for sustaining the practice of the yearly budget cycle throughout the 4 years of his tenure, which have paved way for the massive development recorded in the state. Today's event, Your Excellency, have proven to the people of the state that you meant well for the people of Adamawa State, and you continue with the development stride in the second tenure, hence the presentation of the 2024 proposed bill, third budget of re-engineering. I want to assure you, Your Excellency, that the members of the 8th Assembly under my leadership will continue and will immediately work with the relevant MDS to ensure the timely consideration and passage of this bill to enable the government hit the ground running from the January 2024. I am calling on all the relevant ministry, boards and agencies to work in harmony with relevant committee towards realizing the desired objectives of the government in 2024. As the 2024 proposed budget was designed based on the needs of the citizen, Your Excellency, on behalf of the entire members of the 8th Assembly, I want to express our gratitude to you for the harmonious working relationship existing between the executive and the legislative arm in the state. I assure you that this cordial relationship will continue for the progress and development of our dear state. Thank you all and God bless.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, which order?
Order 74, 1 and 2.
Yes, go ahead.
Right Honorable Speaker, my respected honorable colleagues, in view of the importance of the appropriation bill to the citizens of Adamawa State and invariably the nation at large, I move for the suspension of Order 74, 1 and 2 to enable this Honorable House read the bill for the second time.
Yes, Honorable Member representing Yola North and also the minority leader.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I second the motion moved by member representing Demsa constituency and also the majority leader that the House do now suspend Order 74 to enable the House to read the application bill second time. I so second.
Honorable colleagues, the motion has been moved and seconded that the Honorable House do now suspend Order 74, 1 and 2 to enable the Honorable House read the appropriation bill the second time. I now put a question. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Order 74, 1 and 2 accordingly suspended. Majority Leader, go ahead and move the motion for the bill to be read the second time. Go ahead, Majority Leader.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Thank you. Honorable colleagues, I move that this Honorable House do now read the appropriation bill, proposed budget estimate for the second time. I so move.
Yes, any seconder? Yes, Honorable Member representing Yola North.
Right, member representing Demsa constituency, also the majority leader of the House for the bill to read for the second time. So second.
Honorable colleagues, a motion has been moved and seconded that the bill for a law to further issue the appropriation and appropriate the sum of 225 billion 819,690,626 naira only being 2024 proposed budget estimate for the services of Adamawa State of Nigeria for the year 2024, which includes statutory expenditure under 425 and for matters incidentally thereto to be read the second time. I now put a question. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Yes, clerk, read the bill for the second time.
Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, a bill for a law to further issue and appropriate the sum of 225,893,690,626 naira only, being 2024 proposed budget estimate for the services of Adamawa State of Nigeria for the year 2024, which includes statutory expenditure under 425 and for matters incidental thereto. Second reading.
Honorable colleagues, that's the second reading of the bill and is hereby committed to the House Committee on Finance, Appropriation and Budget and return to the House in the next 1 week, please. Yes, clerk, what's next on the paper? The majority leader.
Right Honorable Speaker, my honorable colleagues, after the laying ceremony by His Excellency of the proposed budget of 2024, I move that this honorable House do now allow His Excellency or their Excellencies and His entourage to take leave of the chamber. I so move.
Yes, honorable member representing you or not, and also the minority.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I second the motion moved by member representing the constituency and also the majority leader that the House do now allow His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Adamawa State, Right Honorable Umaru Fintiri, take leave of the chamber. I do second.
Honorable colleagues, the motion has been moved and seconded that the Executive Governor of Adamawa State, Right Honorable Umaru Fintiri and his entourage to take leave of the chamber. And now put a question, those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Yes, you can escort him. The majority leader and the minority leader, you can escort His Excellency to take leave of the chamber.
That was Right Honorable Ahmad Fintiri shaking hands with the Speaker after the Speaker of the State House was His Excellency, the Executive Adamawa is now shaking hands with the honorable members of the State House after presenting the 2024 budget proposal that is made up of 225.8 billion naira, over 225.8 billion naira to service the activities of government. The budget is also tagged the budget of re-engineering. Re-engineering means that we'll continue to do the needful for the people of Adamawa State, because the governor said his job is to make the people happy. That is why the State Executive Council has come out with this proposal to make sure that every sector of Adamawa's economy is booming. Out of the 235.8 billion naira, 113.3 billion naira will be for recurrent expenditure, representing 49.3%. And the capital expenditure stands at over 114.5 billion naira, representing 50.7%, which goes to show that based on the sectoral allocation, Ministry of Works has gotten the highest share with over 25 billion naira. Education is closely followed with over 15 billion naira. Health, over 6 billion naira. The same thing goes for Finance Ministry, over 6 billion naira. Ministry of Youth and Sports is also on the line over 6 billion naira is also going to be expended, while Ministry of Housing and Urban Development receive 4.5 billion naira. As the executive governor of Adamawa State has said in his speech, the Commissioner of Finance and Economic Planning will brief the press, that is the budget breakdown, any moment from now. So as you can see, the proceeding is almost over. The executive governor, Right Honorable Governor Fintiri, is shaking hands with members of the State House of Assembly, signifying friendship, signifying fraternity, signifying love. And this is what the administration has been doing for the past 4 years.
Youth unemployment in the state.
Your Excellency, sir, IPR is very important in every economic sector. So what is your government going to do?
Doing very well in the IGR sector since the coming of this administration in the last 4 years. We made an IGR of less than 3 billion naira. Today is at over 12 billion. We intend to raise it to over 25 billion and even more in 2024. For the Yola International Hotel, already a process is ongoing for the privatization of the hotel to a private sector so that they can put in what is still remaining in the hotel and make it operational for tourism in the state.
Finally,
you are on, sir.
yes,
If you are just watching us, this is the almost conclusion of the 2024 budget presentation by His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Adamawa State. As you can see out there, the governor is being attended by some of the pressmen who have been interviewing him. Right now, I will start picking individuals to tell us of what they make of the 2024 budget presentation. So just stay close to your television as we take them one by one. They are not taking.
the probability is high.
Okay, Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Information and Strategy, you are part of the entourage of His Excellency that have come here for the 2024 budget presentation. What do you make of it?
Well, I would say the budget was well presented based on the popular demand of the people of Adamawa State, which is and remained the re-engineering budget of 2024. And when you say re-engineering, it's because what he has done in the past is there. We'll now gather it, refine it, grease it to panel beat, fix where we need to fix, and that is why we called it the re-engineering budget. And I can tell you that because of what he has done in the past regime and what he's about to do, that we're going to have the best for Adamawa State. And as you can see, it's today that he's giving the budget, but work has not stopped. During his campaign, work did not stop, and now he's not saying until the budget is being passed before I'll start work. I'm telling you that right now it's still ongoing. So the budget of re-engineering is real.
What is the thinking of the state government towards media houses come next year?
I don't think the media houses should even be asking, because already you can see the difference. A lot of things have changed and they have been carried along in different dimensions.
Thank you, ma. Auntie, you are alive. You are alive. It's live. Honorable Commissioner of Women Affairs, you are part of the commissioner that have come here for this budget. What do you make of it?
Yeah, just as it has been said, it's a budget of re-energizing. So we are going to re-energize what we have started on. And by the grace of God, you're going to see a lot this year.
So do we know the blueprint for women development in 2024 as contained in the budget?
Well, since it has been silent on that, the women issue will come up. There are some other things that are not under up to 1 billion naira. So, but next year you're going to see what is going to happen.
My pleasure.
A lot of promises for the women.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have to edit it.
It's live. I'm not going. Viewers, that has been the 2024 budget presentation by the Executive Governor of Adamawa State, Right Honorable Fintiri, here at the State House Assembly. The proposal is over 225.8 billion naira to service Adamawa State. So on behalf of the management of Adamawa State Television Corporation, Yola, talking about the general manager, Mr. Tatius Kumdisi, who has been doing well for this station. And the transmission crew also, led by Engineer Boniface and other crew, into the studio we have Mr. Douglas Maxwell and our two cameramen, Musa and Ishaku, who have been doing well. My name is Samuel Gawaja, saying see you next time for your live coverage. Bye-bye.